Hello, I'm Lelda Smith for the Finance News Network, and joining me from oil and gas explorer WHL Energy is its Managing Director, David Rowbottam. David, welcome back to FNN.
Thank you very much, Lelda, and it's a pleasure to be along and to speak to you and your subscribers today.
Thank you. Well, David, WHL has recently announced the successful completion of the acquisition of a major 3D seismic acquisition program off the coast of the Republic of Seychelles. What are the details of the survey and the background of the operation?
Thanks, Lelda. Ourselves and our joint venture partner, Ophir Energy, were very pleased to report the successful completion of the Junon 3D seismic review, and that acquisition covered 1,528 square kilometres, centred on our offshore Seychelles exploration licence. The acquisition was completed by Dolphin Geophysical, and they operated a specialist 3D seismic vessel called Polar Duchess. The acquisition was completed within 36 operational days, which was well within the estimated 30 to 40 day target range, which meant that it was completed within budget. Equally importantly for us and Ophir as operators, the acquisition was completed without any reportable environmental or safety incidences. This survey acquisition was only the third 3D seismic survey completed in the Seychelles, so the area still remains significantly underexplored, and this is the first 3D that actually covered any of the acreage that WHL Energy is an owner within. The success of the acquisition is a real credit to Ophir Energy as the operator, and they have only been operator for a short period of time since our farm out, which was negotiated in March, April this year, and concluded, as I said, in April with the finalisation of the farm-out agreement and government approvals. The Junon area of our large offshore Seychelles joint venture was chosen for this 3D survey because it was the area that held the most significant number of prospects on the mapping we had done off the original 2D seismic survey. And this has really been to focus, as I said, on that Junon 3D area to mature those prospects for the next level of work that will be concluded.
Okay, David, and what is the next step in defining of those drilling locations?
Yes, the 3D seismic brings in the definition to a far greater focus for the technical group, and that processing is still going to take us through to mid-September from this acquisition phase for the initial data. And once that initial fast track has been processed, that will still give us an idea. While it will give us an idea, it won't be a final view, but it will at least let us see the focus areas. And we think that at this stage, the 3D final seismic data will be delivered in December, and that will be a dramatic step up in terms of quality over the original 2D, as I said earlier. And this significantly increases, as we say, subsurface visibility, allows us to look deeper in terms of what we see in terms of those prospects that we have. And with that, that's going to give us the confidence in talking about moving forward to the drilling phase with Ophir as the operator. And so you can imagine we're eagerly awaiting that data to be able to make those decisions. At the same time, we're also looking towards the neighbouring acreage, which is held by Afrin PLC as operator with some minority interest. They've also shot some 3D seismic survey in 2011, I believe, and they've also now shot a second set of 3D. And they are looking to analyse that 3D survey before they make a final decision in regards to where they plan to drill the exploration well that they're scheduled to do so. So there's a lot of activity going around in the Seychelles, and that's going to be around the time that we are also required to make our final decision in regards to timing and location of the drilling of our initial well under the petroleum agreement with Ophir. So it's a very exciting time in the Seychelles.
Indeed. Now, WHL Energy also this week released its June quarterly report. What were the highlights?
Well, firstly is that there's been considerable activity, and that has included concluding the farm out with Ophir Energy, which was originally agreed in the first quarter of this year calendar, and was concluded through April-May. So it was a real bonus for the company to be able to have someone like Ophir, given the size of their market cap and their success story in East and West Africa offshore, being able to join us in the Seychelles acreage. And this has then materialised also in that we were quickly able to complete the contract around the 3D vessel and commence the seismic acquisition once Ophir became operator. And that's been done at an incredible speed. To think that the final farm out was concluded in May, and there we are shooting 3D seismic in June, July. And look, at the same time, we're still awaiting further positive results from the interpretation of the initial volumes over the Vic P67 project, which includes La Bella. The interim results have been very, very positive, and they have, in their intermediate form, defined a current portfolio of 11 prospects with a prospective resource of about 610 BCF of gas and 14 million barrels of condensate and LPGs. But we're looking for further definition as we, in the short term, receive the final volume of that seismic that we've flagged to the market we expect to receive this week. And it's really going to also allow us to further analyse the four most prospective areas known as Mylius, Mylius West, Feria and Feria South. And all of those are located immediately west of the La Bella gas and condensate field within the Vic P67. So look, it just works for us towards completing that processing around the Vic P67 3D seismic survey. And based upon that, we think that we very shortly will have enough confidence to move forward with Aztec drilling to undertake the next phase of our well planning, and also the concept studies based upon that initial interpretation will also help us work out economically the way that we're going to look at the drilling phase. So it's been an exciting quarter, but it also is a portent for what's going to come in the next half of the year, which again is still going to have a high activity level for the company.
Okay, David, and while we are speaking about the next half, what is WHL looking forward to in the second half of this year?
So, as I said, the major news flow is around the additional definition from the receipt of and interpretation of the Vic P67 project 3D seismic survey, and focused around La Bella. And also, as I said, the initial interpretation of the Seychelles 3D seismic survey. And both of these events are very significant relative to the company and potentially company-changing projects. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of excitement around the receipt of that information and then being able to work with that. The company's also looking at the moment at a number of M&A opportunities. Capital markets remain difficult for small to medium energy companies, and whilst that in itself presents difficulties and we're not insulated from that environment, we see that also as being an opportunity in the current markets. So look, we're encouraged by some of the work we're doing with our advisors, and we just say to people, watch this space, as I think there are really company-changing opportunities available for us.
David Rowbottam, thank you so much for the update on WHL Energy.
Lelda, thank you, and I look forward to talking to you and your subscribers again in the future.